Hello guys and welcome to the channel. My name is Bright from CEO Designs, and in this tutorial we'll be learning how to create this very simple design, very simple yet classic design. So come and join the train. Let us navigate through the paradise of Photoshop. So guys, when I was planning and crafting design on a sheet of paper, I wanted to achieve 4 things from the design. 1, a functional design. 2, a simple design. 3, a luxurious design. And number 4, a classic design. Now, going to the first one, a functional design, it's very important that when you make a design, it must fulfill the purpose of creation. If the design is to draw sales to a particular product, that design should actually draw sales to a particular product. It's not just to look so fine out there, and it's not just doing anything. No. So it's very important. Then number 2 is simple design. I never wanted to create something so complex. Innovation simply means making complexity look simple. So I wouldn't want to give people headache trying to decipher how complex my design looks just to sell a product. It's unfair. So a luxurious design. I also wanted something looking elegant and comforting. Like when you see it, you are like, this product is of quality. Then lastly, classy look. That feel it gives you, that when I get this product, I'm in the high class. It's a stylish looking product. You get me? So those kind of things. These are the things I wanted to achieve, and showing and while we go through this design process, you see I achieved every of this thing. So let's get right into the tutorial. So I divided this design into 4 parts. So part 1 is the background. Then part 2 is this logo over here. Part 3 are these texts here. Then part 4 is the product image here. So straight up, we create a new file size of 1500 by 1500 pixels. Then a 300 resolution. Now that 15 by 15 is square document. Okay, so click on create. Please keep your color mode at RGB and click on create. Then we have this document, which I always say the first thing you do when you create a new document on Photoshop is to what? Unlock it. Okay, so we have unlocked it. So though sometimes it doesn't really matter. Okay, fine. So we'll start with the background creation. So I click on the adjustment layer at the bottom and I click on solid color. So I just need a black background. So the black I'll be going with is 242424, and I hit on OK. Alright, that's super simple. Then the next thing we'll be doing is to add the light on the background. If you have been a regular customer on my channel, you would have really noticed this style of design. So I choose the brush tool and increase the brush size. So to increase the brush size, you right click and you bring up this panel, then you increase the brush size. Then keep this guy on 100, flow on 100. Make sure your hardness is on 0. Then choose a light color of this black. So the color I'll be using is I just want to keep things simple and quick today. So 7C 7C 7C. That's a light, like a gray. Okay, so I come to almost the center of the page like this, and I just damp once with my brush. Stuff like that. Super simple. Alright, so that done, I create a new layer beneath that. So you just pull it down there. Pick your gradient tool, this tool here, or you press G on your keyboard. Then come to the bottom. Make sure you flip this back to the original by clicking this guy here, or you press D on your keyboard to have the black and white gradient like this default color. Then come to the bottom of the screen like this. Hold shift on your keyboard, click and drag up. Okay, so you have that. Go back to your pick tool, or your move tool rather. Then click on this layer, then Ctrl J to duplicate. Then take this guy above this light. So you have one below the light and you have one above the light. So I think we're almost done with the background. You could still do some adjustment. Ctrl T just to stretch. Hold shift on your keyboard, stretch this one and reposition. So it's just as if it blends kind of. So it's left for you, whatever thing you want to see. You get, I'm just bringing it down a little bit. So we're almost done with the background. I think this is all. So to make our work look simple and well organized, we could group right now. So at the top layer, hold shift on your keyboard and click the bottom layer, like the first layer, then Ctrl G to group. Then you could name that BG for background. Then you could give that a color also. Right click and say probably a red. So you just know that as a background color. Alright. So to the next one, the super simple logo on Photoshop. So I create a new layer, I click on the text tool, pick the text, then click on my design canvas, then write the simple looking logo, which I title Everything Hot. So let's give that a white so we can see it. So that's it over there. Alright, I think I'll reduce this guy a little bit. Just reduce the opacity just a little bit. No, just leave at 95. Alright, so we have the Everything Hot. Then you increase the font size to around 9.74. Then to beautify this logo using contrast, highlight the text, then change the font type to Poppins. That's the logo style. So change to Poppins first, regular, then highlight just the hot, then change that to extra bold. So using contrast, just playing with contrast, you're having this thing that looks so interesting. Alright, so also reduce the line spacing to -5, so it gets squashed just a little bit. I think I already like the way it's looking. This was exactly the way it was looking. Okay, then the next thing I did was to create another layer, choose my shape tool and pick the ellipse tool. Let's collapse this guy. So we draw a simple looking circle or ellipse, whatever thing you call it, something as simple as this. Then we change the outline to a white and change the outline weight to 6 pixels. Alright, then we position that guy very well. Pick your move tool and we position her very well like this. Alright, then come to the bottom of your layer panel and choose the layer mask option. Then pick your brush tool with black set as the foreground color, because our layer mask is white, so we want to take away a little part of the circle. So if I click and reduce your size, you get. Alright, so at this point you could actually zoom in your canvas. So we are just taking away this part of the shape, this part. See, something that's simple but yet looking very nice. Alright, if the shape is kind of big, we could reduce it, Ctrl T, and just shrink down a little bit. So something like that. It's looking super easy but yet nice. So we could still take this guy, we could still reduce a little bit. Don't mind me, I always touch stops. Alright, okay, I think I like that now. So we group both of them together and call that brand logo. Okay, so we will be writing the text by the left. Okay, let's bring down this logo just a little bit. So stay on that group, just position a little bit. Okay, so the next we'll be writing is the text by the left. So I choose the type to create a new layer and just click. Then the first word I'm writing is beauty. Beauty, as simple as that. Alright, so just rescale that so we can see it very bold. Alright, let me bring my ruler too so I could position this guy very well. Cool. Okay, so to achieve luxury, the fastest way to achieve luxury in design is when you are choosing a font for your design, choose a serif font. A serif font. Now Photoshop has made life easier by filtering your fonts with this option where you can choose this guy. You see all the serif fonts on your system. Now I'll also be using a serif font for my design, and I'll be using this one over here, Canela. So that's the font I'll be using, Canela, and I'll also use that with the weight of medium. I'm not changing that for anything, so I'm using that with the weight of medium because I don't want anything that looks so busy and heavy. All right, then also the size of the font I'll be using is 49.41. okay, so just by using that font style or the font, yes, it's already looking luxurious. So that's one trick you should learn and always maximize. Okay, so we increase the line spacing to 25. Okay, cool, I like that. All right, then we'll add a gradient fill to the text called beauty. So either you double click here or you click on FX, which is like effect, and you go on to gradient overlay. All right, so this guy pops up, then you click on this gradient. Then for the first one, you click on this colors here, or you double click on this guy, whichever one you like. So let me go like this. All right, so the first color I'll be using is F5DEB9. So it's kind of a cream color. I don't know, ladies may have a better name for it, but to me it's a cream color. And the second color is just the white, but I'll be positioning this cream color like this is a location here. So when you pull this guy, the location changes depending on how far you have gone on this particular bar. So the location I'll be using for that cream is around 39. Yes, then I hit on OK. Then I also change this angle to 0. I want it to be coming from left to right. Do you get? So angle at 0 and everything is looking super cool. Let's continue. So I hit on OK to that, and I'm happy with how it's looking. All right, so the next text, so I pick my type 2, create a new layer, and just click on the Canva. Then what am I writing? What am I writing? Skincare with all caps. I'm writing that on all caps. All right, so we also change the font for this. So we'll not be using the serif font for it. We'll be using a normal font for it. I'll be choosing a simple font for the skincare. So the font I'll be using for that is Kandara. I think I'll just love CC for today. Let me take that back to all classes. So I'll be using Kandara Light. Very tiny, very simple. So that's a sans serif font. So I'm using the sans serif font to complement the serif font I used for beauty. So I also stretch out the line spacing to a whooping 420. Crazy. Yes, it's giving me plenty room so I can count the number of letters in that word. Don't mind me. So the size will go to 21.51. So it kind of matches with the beauty. Alright, so I position this perfectly like this. Wow, it's already looking very nice and classy. Okay, so on the former design, I actually use ChatGPT to generate the subtext I use. Let me go to the former design. So I generated this entire text from ChatGPT. I just went there and typed, and that guy helped my life and generated every of this. So I'll copy that to my new design because I wouldn't go back to ChatGPT and start generating that again for us. So I just copy that to my new design, and I'll try to reposition every of these things now. Okay, so let me reposition some of these text. So take okay, so let's group them first of all. So Ctrl G, just call this theme. Alright, and just give that a blue. Let's give the logo a green, so we can always differentiate every of them. So we are looking well organized, working this way. Okay, so let's let me oh sorry, so let me bring out, I think I'll stop around this point. Alright, so take this theme up to when beauty rests there. Okay, so let's move left a little bit, just need to get some positioning clean. Alright, I think I like this now. Okay, All right, cool. So let's another thing. I think this one is looking kind of dark, so just reduce the opacity. All right, cool. So the other thing that was there was the button that said click to buy. So it's like a catalog where that can be placed on a website where you just click this particular design and it takes you straight to the cart where you can shop out with something like that. So it's not the one you phone number, then you call the phone number to buy. No, it's just click to buy. So that button is at the bottom. So we'll just keep a box there for now, but we will not go through the stress of creating the box. So later we'll do all that. I want to start on the product and the manipulation and stuff. So let's just keep this guy here, so we always remember that this is the button and we have not yet done her, so we are waiting to do her. So just keep a rounded corner, so we always remember that the button must be a rounded cornered button. So something like that. It's super cool and super easy to create. Oh, if you were wondering how I did the rounded corner, after I drew the button, I clicked on this icon here, the property icon. In case you don't have that, go to Windows and click property, so it comes out. So when you go there, just come to this point and put a number. Automatically fills it up for you because of this guy that is checked. But when you uncheck that guy, you put the number as by yourself individually. So enough of that talk. So let's go straight to the product manipulation. So at this point in time, what should we do? We should save. Control S to save, because Photoshop could be funny sometimes when you're working on plenty complex files or manipulating stuffs. Okay, so let's just call this product design. Let's just call that something and click on save. So we have that guy saved already. So also this rectangle, since it's button, just Ctrl G to put in a group, and let's call that button. So we always remember that that's button group. All right, so give that guy a color again. Just give that guy a totally different color from the other one. So we're looking very organized. Wow, I've changed. I think when I came back, I'm not a very good manager. Like, I'm very organized. That's good. So we'll put our first product in the design. Did I just say we'll put our first product? My bad. We'll put an elegant background for our first product. Let's keep it that way. So I go to file and place embedded. File, place embedded. I think I'm assuming now that so many people are not professional, so no point saying stuff. I click. Don't mind me. So I click on this guy and it gets placed on my design canvas. Alright, so it comes to the background. I click this guy to commit, then click on these two and click on select subject. So it takes away, or it selects my cutting out of the background. Then go to select and mask. I always have the settings for select and mask always there, cool settings, so you could just check it. Smooth 2, feather 2.6, contrast 23%, and shift edge minus 23%. I click on OK. In case if you are not cool with that, you could change yours. But I just needed to remove that background. So I click on layer max 2, so it takes that away. Let's call this guy cutting, so it looks simple. Don't like that long name it's having. Alright, so also group, and in that group call it cutting background BG. Alright, so give that a different color again. I'm not very organized. Wow, I'm proud of myself. So Ctrl G to Ctrl T to transform, rotate this guy like this, and take this guy to this point. Alright, let's take this guy to this point, and so just reposition properly like this, and commit. Remember earlier I said I wanted to make a luxurious and classy looking design, so we will not just dump the product on the black background. So we just have to make something behind it that makes it looks luxurious. You get? So we'll give this cutting a mirrored effect, so it looks as if our background is like it's a shiny background that when we took the picture, the product was reflecting on at the bottom of the canvas, making it look mirrored and stuff. Before we do any of the mirrored effect, just right click and convert this guy to smart objects. Cool. Yes. Then come to your canvas, Ctrl T to transform. I'm actually designing with one hand today. Okay, Ctrl T to transform, right click and say warp. Alright, so we'll just warp this up a little bit, warp here down a little bit, Then the focus is this place. I want to warp this place more and warp this place like this, and we are all looking warpy and hot. Alright, 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 alright. Okay, cool. I like it like this. So we commit the change. Now we go to filter, the first blur, Gaussian blur, and yes, 5.6, and hit on OK. It's looking blurry. Cool. So just click this guy to collapse that guy. So now Ctrl J to duplicate. Yes, come to the one at the bottom. Ctrl T to transform. Hit on OK. Right click on it and say flip vertical. Wow. Okay, so she has flipped. So we have her looking like this. I still need to do one more warping something. So let's cancel this guy. Delete this guy. Come back and Ctrl T. Then warp. Just warp this edge of the cutting so it looks as straight as the other part. Okay, cool. So hit on commit. Alright, so Ctrl T again to transform, to Ctrl J to duplicate, then click on the bottom one, Ctrl T to transform, hit on OK, right click and say flip vertical, then bring this one bottom, let them kiss like this, touch themselves, whatever thing you call it, then commit your change. Alright, cool. But it's looking so noisy and busy, it's looking so heavy. So the trick now is this. So on this one, create a layer mask like this, pick your gradient tool, make sure that you have black and white. If it's not there, press D to revert back to the original, then flip X to get the black there. Alright, so come to the bottom of this guy, hold shift and drag up like this, like this, like this, till you have that guy as faint as that. Alright, so if you still want to do some manual job, you could pick your brush to increase the brush size, reduce the flow, reduce the opacity, and come to the bottom and click like a bikini bottom. What's wrong with me? Don't mind me. Okay, so you just softly clean that up. Also come to the first one, the one on top, create a layer mask on it and reduce your brush size. So I'm using the what do they call this bracket? The straight bracket on my keyboard. So using the left or the right bracket, you can increase and reduce your brush. So I just want to brush off some of the, like just the edges of the cut, so it just flows kind of into my background, so it doesn't really bring so much noise, stuff like that. All right, is that cool? Yes, it's cool. Okay, so back to this one. So let's finish this thing we have started. So we have something like this. It's cool. Yes, it's cool. Now the last trick for this guy to look sweet, but let's hold shift and hide this layer mark so you see that trick play out very well. So that layer mark, whatever thing we did, we just hid it. So click on this guy, come to filter, come to blur, come to motion blur. All right, so leave your angle at -90 and your distance at 26 like this, then hit on OK. Now you see it's looking like it's looking as if it's in motion from top to bottom, top to bottom. Top to bottom. Okay, so it's just a little change. So click back this one to review back what we erased. So we're having that effect there. So as if it's sitting down on our background and it's reflecting at the bottom of the or it's reflecting on the ground, something like that. So it's just a very subtle effect, but it's super cool. So we have done that. Now we now have a perfect seat for our product to sit on and look so classy and nice. All right, so the next step, I want to cool down this color so it tends to look like this beauty color. You get, it's looking very, very, very shouty. So we'll go to adjustment layer and we go to hue and saturation. Just want to reduce little of its saturation. Then I click this guy, so I clip that particular setting just to the cutting. Then I draw down the saturation down to minus what? Minus, let's go 40. All right, cool. Yes, see, it's just looking like that guy, super calm and reserved. Okay, so another thing I'll also do is to just add a little bit red and some yellow to it. So to do that, I go to color balance, just to balance up the color with whatsoever thing we are having there. So we start with the mid tones and we pop the red to around okay, let's just go to 17, and we pop the yellow to around 4. So once we go backward, we are going to yellow, so let's keep that at 4. So we go straight to the shadows. Same thing we'll do. So we want to add some red to the shadows, so like 4 to the shadows, and add some yellow to the shadow, like 10 to the shadows. So we're having something more shining than when we just reduce the opacity, when we just reduce the saturation. So when we reduce saturation, we're having this. Now with the color balance, we're having this. So it's kind of looking like it's not looking shiny, kind of. So that's cool. I love that. So in case you want to go much crazy, you could now go and pop in contracts. Seeing this, and I just felt I should have done it on my main design, and just on the main design I never added contracts. So I'll just leave this guy to you in case if you want to. So I'll just unhide my own. Maybe when I'm done with the design and I think I still want it, I'll come back and check back that eye to bring it back. Alright, so that's for the cutting, so we can forge ahead in live right now. So let's introduce our first product into the system. Okay, so on the top layer, we click File, Place Embedded. Then we put the hotty product. It's actually a mock-up, so I just renamed the mock-up to hotty, like hot. So everything hotty. So everything is blending. It's nice, super cool. Don't mind me. Alright, so I just reposition this product, and please, when you are doing manipulation like this, size is everything. Once your sizes are right, everything you are doing looks nice. You get. So I place this product, and also I'll just place the Nivelle product behind. Shout out to Nivelle. Nice product, nice branding, but I'll be changing just 1 or 2 things about just to ride with the design. Okay, so just remove the background. It came with a white background. I downloaded it from Google, so it's a very poor quality image. Alright, so I think that's cool. Just hit on OK. Whatever cool, I did that later. Alright, so also place this guy underneath this product so we can get somehow a scaling right. Control T to scale this guy down a little bit. So it's kind of behind this cream here. So just bring this ruler and check. Okay, alright, I think that's fine. Okay, so we now group the Nivelle separate and call that Nivelle, because it will have series of manipulations on it, and you really want to group those layers. Trust me, if not, it can drive you crazy. See, nobody likes seeing plenty layers. Maybe you like it, I don't like it. I don't. So if we are collaborating, like we are working together and we are working on a file, and you don't name your layers, well, who have problem. So the other one, just call it hotty cream. Alright, cool. So just give that guy another color. Let's give that a gray. Okay, so we have things looking very organized. Wow, this is looking nice already. Okay, so let's just push both of them to the right a little bit. Okay. Alright, is it cool? I think some people will be like, wow, the design is already looking nice. Yes, why will it not look nice? I am the one that is touching it. You get the point now. Okay, so let's still scale down this Nivelle. I think it's looking kind of gigantic. Alright, okay, alright, cool. So we could just take this one big a little bit like that. Still, even you should know me by now, I can still change it along the line. So just get ready that I may change something. Then also this guy behind, this cutting background behind. So just reduce the opacity to something sub to like 80. We don't want it to really disturb our product. We want our product to stand out, nothing more. Nothing concerns us. Only our product to stand out. But it should stand out in style, in elegance. In a stylish way. You get the point. Okay, so the same thing we did for the cutting behind, that's the same thing we'll do for this product. So we'll add that mirror like effect behind it. So we'll not be working with normal shadow background underneath. No, we're working with that mirrored looking effect on it. You get? So we'll start with this hottie here before we go to the Neve hottie. All right. So that's super cool. Okay, so duplicate this guy, Ctrl J to duplicate, then Ctrl T to transform, then right click and flip vertical. I will soon bite my tongue today. Okay. So just take this guy down, hold shift and just tap your button on your keyboard, take down to where they are kissing under like that. I just reposition this guy. Okay, so layer max, bring your gradient to and swipe. Woo, swipe. Woo, cool, nice. So just like that other one, we also add motion blur to it. Cool. Okay, looking nice. So same thing, just we work faster. So do the same thing to the Nivelle. So right click, Ctrl J on the under one, Ctrl T, right click, flip vertical and hold shift on your keyboard and pull this guy with your mouse, so don't waste time. Okay, so let them kiss at the under, let them stay at the under. Alright, so pick your gradient tool with that black selected and do the same thing like this. I think it's looking nice. Alright. So you could also use your brush tool, and if it's looking kind of excess, you could just brush off some parts that are looking kind of funky and wonky. If those things I just said just made any sense. Okay, another thing on our ribbon behind or the cutting behind, let's come to the mirror one, this one. So let's add up, go to your brush to flip this guy to white. So let's just review this part of the mirror. Yeah, so it reflects very well there. I really want to see that reflection there very well. I also want to see this reflection. No, that's becoming too much. So I just want to see them looking like this. I think it's looking nice already. Okay, so back to this Nivelle. So under this one, we could remove this one because flip back to black, flip this guy back to black. So you can flip with X on your keyboard and just brush off this part, because last we still have that cocoa there. Yes, that's Nigerian English, last. Okay, so I think it's looking cool right now. So just quickly do our manipulation and our edit, and we know we are done with this guy for today, because currently I'm tired of talking. Sorry, I love talking, so let's continue. Where did I stop? Alright. Okay, so just click on this one and just want to just move it into the Nivelle. So where we add this shadow there, it really looks as if it's sitting behind it. Wow, I'm feeling this design. Them go feel it. Woo, okay, let me be serious now before this tutorial goes to 2 hours and somebody now gets angry with me. Okay, so what is the next thing we are doing? Wow, I'm now okay. The next thing we'll be doing is to edit each of the products. So we'll start with this one. We just have to blend them with the background, blend them against themselves, so everything looks pretty nice and you just love it. You get? So let's go straight to it. So let's just rearrange some of these guys a little bit. Sorry, my hottie cream and Nivelle, just scale up a little bit. Why is it long like this? Just scale up a little bit like that, and also just bring down my cutting a little bit. So alright. This guy looking normal. Okay, better. Alright, so you can still use our brush to just remove some obvious nonsenses. Okay, so straight to this hottie product here. So the first thing we'll do to that product is to go to our curves. Everybody loves curves. Curves makes everything happen on Photoshop. So we click and put a node here, and also click and put a node here. So we just take this node up a little bit. So I want the highlights to shine some more like that. See, without it and with it, so it's kind of, this part is kind of shining some more. So in case if you think it's excess, you could remove or you could reduce the opacity in case if you think it's excess, but leave more like this for now. Also, another thing I want to do rather is also want this part of the bottle to shine some more, so you kind of think it's like a glass bottle. So to do this, I'll do a little bit dodging, like dodge and burn, but I'll not really do more of burning. I'll do more of dodging to it. So I do Control Shift N. So this guy pops up, new layer. I say mode, overlay, fill with opacity neutral, color 50%. Great. Click yes, mark, and okay. So we have this guy here, right click and create clipping marks. Good. So we come to these two. Where is that two? These two, yes, the dodge tool and the burn tool. So pick the dodge tool, we zoom this guy like this, and we just brush around this part and this part, and we come to this part and we also brush like that and like this. Now see before and after, it looks so that's just the trick. All right, so the little dodging we'll also be doing on is just pick the burn tool, then come to this bottom and just burn the bottom a little bit like this. You get? So before this and after, super cool. So you could also burn around the side. So just click and hold shift and click at the bottom. So you have that guy also around here, just something faint and light, so it gives some more depth to your product like this. See, so off is looking and on is looking heavy. So in case if you think it's also excess, you could also reduce opacity, or you bring up your layer marks, pick your brush tool and brush off some of the excesses like this part. You get? So like that, it's super cool now. I love it. Then go feel it today. All right, okay, so let's continue. Okay, in case if you still want to make the exaggerated feel behind, you can also do the same thing, control, like I mean the one at the bottom, this guy here. So you can also do Control Shift and same thing, overlay and fill up and okay, right click and create clipping marks, come to the dodge and just put, wow, what just happened? I don't know why that product went it went to the left hand side. Okay, so just brush with the dodge to something like that, so it's the illusion looks cool across borders. So you could reduce your opacity if too much, something like this. So I think it's nice. So we'll do the same thing to this nivelle, but before we go so much crazy with nivelle, let's do something first to nivelle, because the fact is I'm using nivelle, but I don't want to really use nivelle because the product is not for nivelle, it's everything hot. So I'm just using their branded product, like their bottle rather, but I want to kind of rebrand it. So I'll pull out this guy, change every blue color to black like what we have here, so we could be on the same page. Sorry, we'll change this part and this part to what we have here, then we'll change this part, the top where we press, to what we have here. So this one also looks like iron, like metal, like this one. You get? Notice it's obvious that this is a rubber or a plastic, a blue plastic. So we want to make it look like metallic like this guy. So we'll change this guy to this color, and we'll change this one and this one to something like this, dark shade of this. So we want to work on the nivelle right now. So we want to take away all this blue from the nivelle. So we want to get something black like this. So on the nivelle layer, which is this layer, you should know what to do to remove blue from a subject. So you go to adjustment layer, go to hue and saturation, clip mark that guy, so it only affects the nivelle cream. So come to the master, because we want to remove all the blue. Click the drop down and choose blue. Yes, then you drop the saturation onto 0. Simple. And also reduce the lightness to something dark like this. Keep going. Okay, that's nice. I think I like that. Very cool. All right, so let's continue. Also, another thing is, I don't want nivelle to be showing. You get? I already explained earlier. So we are working with hotty for everything hot. Alright, so we click a new layer. Then we also, you could, anything you like, you could do a quick selection to select this part. Sorry, we should be on the nivel layer, so you could just select just this part, or you could use your circular ellipse tool and draw a circle there, whichever thing you want to do. But let's just do this one since I've already done it. Alright, so we select every of these and right click, and we just fill with. Okay, so change back to this thought to the marquee, sorry, the lasso to the right click, and layer via copy. Take this up, come back to this saturation, right click and say create clipping marks. Alright, so we have this guy now. So control, this step is this step is stressful. In fact, delete this thing. Let's just pick the ellipse tool and just draw an ellipse there. Hold shift on your keyboard. Why am I stressing it? Simple as this, huh? Alright, so that's for that. Then we fill up that guy with this color or this color, whichever color you want. So something like this. Alright, so that's it. I don't know why I'm stressing myself going through long cut for something I could just fix like this. So another thing I did, I double clicked on this guy, then came to this point. It doesn't really matter, we'll fix that with something else. So we could write on this now. We could just create a new layer, pick our text tool, then type hotty, just like the one we have on the other product. Alright, so reduce the, alright, then turn this guy to bold, something like that. Then position this guy inside here, write that guy with a white like this. Alright, let me take this guy to regular, then reduce the size so it just fits inside the product. So like, let's still go down to like 9. Alright, so it doesn't look so big and crazy. Okay, so cool, we have fixed that. Super easy and very fast. So always remember to save, like as I just did. Alright, so the next thing we'll do, we'll also select this guy and change this guy to the golden color we talked about much more earlier. Alright, super cool, super easy. So you come to the cream, the nivel cream, like that, huh? Then this selection now is good for it. So just pick the quick selection tool and just select this part, just that cap. Alright, so the same trick we used in changing all the blue to this dark color, that's the same trick we used to change this cap to that golden feel we want. You get, so we come to hue and saturation, and we'll slide this guy so crazy, like 166 did the magic for me. Then also we also saturate it some more, like 50, and we reduce the lightness just -2, like that. Alright, super cool. Then when you zoom in, you will discover that somehow we have a little bit dirt around it. So pick your brush tool with black selected, just carefully brush around those blue sides so you could increase your opacity and flow so you see what's happening. So something like this, you see. So click, hold shift and click. So you just do a very quick walk, click, hold shift and click, click, hold shift and click, and stuff like that. So it's looking good enough for me. For yours, you could take some more time to do yours, but it's looking good, so good enough for me. So I think I'm done with that major problem right now. So another thing I did to make the cover stand out, like shine so much like this one, was the same trick I did on this one to shine, like this part where we did to shine, the dodge and burn trick. Get alright, so I create a new layer, shift control N, then as usual I change to overlay, hit on this guy, hit on OK. So before we do the dodge and burn, let's just clip max it and keep. So before we do the dodge and burn, let's do a quick edit overall for the entire product, like an overall edit for the product. So please also take this hottie and this shape down the dodge and burn layer. So when we are doing dodge and burn, we could affect everywhere. Do you get? So everything should be in that product, everything. You get me? Now let's do an overall edit to the product. So we'll create a curve adjustment layer first of all. Just something very simple. Just click at the center and pull it down a little bit, just to get a little bit of depth. Just a little bit of depth, just very little. Then also we'll create a brightness layer, just to reduce some of the brightness on one side, because I'll show you why now. So just go to -20 and we have something like this. Now this was before. Now everywhere was super bright, so you can't even tell where the light is coming from. But from this product here, you can tell where the light is coming from. Now the light is hitting this thing from the right. You see, so it's obvious from this product that it's hitting it from the right. But for this one, it's not obvious. It's as if it's hitting it straight from the front, and it's coming like this. You get? So we want to use this one to kind of direct the light also feel this way. So on that brightness layer, we flip this guy to black, like Control I to flip to black layer max, yes. They'll pick our brush to white selected. We brush on the darkness around this part. See what I'm doing? So we're just putting the brightness around that part. So before, after, so that brightness will reduce rather. So we are putting the effect around this side of the screen, so we have more of the light coming like this. You get? All right, so that's said and done. So another thing we'll do, we'll just make this product also okay. Before then, let's what should we do? Okay, let's do our dodge and burn to also make the product stand out much more. So let's burn first of all. All right, so we burn from the center, flip this guy back to, yes, so we burn from the center like this. So in case if it, you can reduce your exposure here to 35 so it doesn't look so overwhelming. So we burn from the center like this. So click, hold shift and click down like that. You get? All right, so we could also burn around this place, so wherever we paint gets darker like this. You get? All right, so we could make some burn around the bottom. So the more you do this, you see more depth on your product. See before, see after. So it kind of add more depth to your product. But once it's too much, it looks awkward. So let's add some light to the side, like from this side. So we click, hold shift, click like that. So we add light like this. So same thing we do around this side, but we have more of the light on this right hand side, so it complements this particular product. So we'll do same thing to the cover now. So we add more light, more crazy light. You see, so just add more light, then just add some around here, so it kind of stand out. So we're having more light around here. See, so before that it's looking kind of flat, then after that it's as if, yes, there's truly a separation from light and dark in our product. It's looking cool. So wherever you're having like excess effect, you could always add the layer mask, pick your brush to and reduce it, flip to a black brush rather and reduce it. So around there, so before, you see the difference. It's a quick thing to do, but it shows significant difference. Okay, so another thing we'll do, we add a black at the bottom of our Nivel product, so it helps the shadow below it. So right click and create clipping marks, pick your brush to black selected, just brush a little dark shade, no, not that, reduce the opacity and flow like that, just reduce it so you have something soft. So you can still reduce again. If you are using a pen mouse, it becomes easier to control. So today I'm not using a pen mouse, I'm using a normal mouse for this. Okay, so we could reduce the opacity if it's crazy. Alright, another thing I think I omitted earlier was on the shadow for Nivel. I never added the motion blur, so that's why it's looking all straight. So add the motion blur so it flows like that. Okay, we could also add just a little black to it so it doesn't look so white like that. So create a new layer, right click, clip max it, pick a brush to black selected, and just brush that like that. No, it's too much. Something like this. Okay, I think that's cool. Could reduce the opacity a little bit. Alright, that looks super cool. Wow, that looks super cool. Alright, so let's just quickly zoom into this point. Okay, I like how it's looking. I hope it's not looking excess. I like how it's looking. So the few things we'll do now is to add some shadow around this point that casts on the Nivel product. So since this product is kind of in front of a Nivel product, should leave a little bit shadow on it. Then also just some shadow around this point that casts to our cut, just a little subtle shadow. So you see how we add that. Now I don't know, I'm not feeling this. I think I'll brush it off a little bit. Like I'll pick my brush to reduce the just a little bit damp my brush, something like that. And also on this Nivel, the bottom, this guy, so I think it's also looking kind of plenty. So let's just pick the eraser tool and clear a little bit of this guy away. No, it's too much. Alright, cool. Yes, looking cool now. Cool. So let's make this Nivel cream shine more. Okay, I think let's take this cutting up a little bit. It should not be directly like on the same line with them, because it's as if it should look as if it's on the background. So let's take it up a little bit, something like this. Yes, better. Alright, I don't know, this guy is still not giving. This guy is not giving. Okay, it's only motion blur. Let's add Gaussian blur to it. Right, let's keep that at 6. Then also just brush out this part a little bit. I want it to look soft. I don't want it to look that hard. It's having too much. Oh, that's looking bad. Sorry. It's having too much sharp edge. I don't want that looking like that. You get? So just want that looking. Let's bring it down a little bit. Okay. Then pick my brush too and just brush off some of those hard edge. It's having. Alright, so let's see. No, that edit is too much. Okay, so just oh no. Okay. So alright, that's cool. Yes, that's cool. Much better. Alright. So I want this guy to shine some more, so I add another effect to it. So under this dodge and burn effect, add a vibrance layer to it. So we are not using a saturation for that. We are using vibrance instead. So vibrance kind of saturate the parts that are not yet saturated. So whichever part that is saturated, it won't affect any change to that. Get? So just around 1920 should do, something like this. I think that's fine. See, so not much an edit, just something light. Yeah, just something light. So whichever place it stays, but assuming it was saturation, it just saturates everywhere. So another thing, I still want to add some more light to this part. So let's pick a burn tool. Let's add some more light. So yeah, it's more striking than before. So stuff like this. Alright. Okay, so I'm having more light there. So it's obvious stuffs are coming from that point. Okay, I think I like this now. It's looking very nice. So very quickly, let's add some drop shadow, because as this light is hitting here, the cream is blocking the light, so a drop shadow will hit this part of our design canvas. So we are just trying to make sure that everything looks as realistic as it can be. Though we know it's a design, it's a design, fictional design, but it should look as realistic as it can be. So keep your blend mode at multiply, then work with this setting, 15% opacity, distance of 96. So these are the settings I used that worked for me. Then spread of 0 and size of 84. So we'll have something around that. Let's then take this guy to the left. So let's increase this. So okay, take this guy to 0, so it comes to that point. Alright, so take it back to 15. I just wanted to see where it was. So that's what that. So a very subtle shadow, just a very subtle one. Okay, so we could still adjust it just a little bit. So just click and take it down a little bit. Alright, so take it back to 15. So I only increase the opacity so I can see where the shadow is and know what I'm adjusting. Do you get? Alright, so we'll also create a shadow underneath this one that hits on the Nivelle product. So let's create the shadow between these two groups. So just create a new layer here. So create a new layer, pick your brush tool and black selected, opacity and flow very subtle like this. So you can zoom in at this point so you see what you are doing. So just a little brush, no, it's getting crazy. So just something light, something very light like that. No, that guy's getting crazy. Something. Okay, so when you do that, you zoom out so you see if it's looking stupid. Okay, it's looking nice. So just reduce the opacity just a little bit. I think I like that. Also, there's one exaggerated edit I want to do, but before then, let's go back to this dodge and burn. Alright, then pick our burn tool around this place. Just burn here some more. Okay, I never liked that light that I was seeing. No, not too much like that. It's getting red. Okay, so you could also, okay, that's fine. Alright, so I'm still coming back to this cutting. Just slide that guy a little bit to the right, hold shift and slide something like that, and slide up a little bit. Okay, perfect. Yes, I think I like that right now. Alright, we are almost done. So the last thing we are adding is the cocoa. Yes, the cocoa. So file, place, embedded. So the same step we used in blending others, that's the same step we're using to blend the cocoa. So commit that. I think I'll just quickly do this. I'll speed up the video right now. So be super fast with the cocoa right now. So we want to at least blend the color to fit in with our products. The color is looking totally different from our products. So the first thing we'll be doing is to desaturate the green and desaturate that other color we're having there. Is it brown or what? So come to hue and saturation. Then for the master saturation, we just desaturate that around -30. Then also for the green, we click this guy and go to green, and we'll desaturate the green separately to around -57. So it's all desaturated. See, okay, so That's the first one. Then the second thing we'll do some color balancing, just to allow them still look almost like that. So we add some yellow in our midtones, and we add some yellow in our shadows. So minus 13 in the shadows, minus 18 in the midtones. Okay, so the next thing we'll also do some curves. So just reduce this guy a little bit, reduce the light on it just a little bit like that. Then we also reduce the contrast. It's looking too contrasted, so also reduce the contrast, minus 20. Okay, so something like this. Alright, super cool. So then we will now do the dodge and burn to help the shadow. So we already know this step now in this video tutorial. So create clip map. So I pick my burn, and just as I said, the light is coming from this side, so we want to take away all the light on this side of our cocoa. So I'll quickly do, it's kind of a rush work, so just make this side lose light, so the light is coming from the right hand side, stuff like that. So then we apply dodge around there, so that place kind of brightens up, showing that, hey bro, the light is coming from here and it's not coming from here. So something super fast like that. I'm not proud of this fast work right now, but I wouldn't want the video to be so much lengthy like how it's already looking. Okay, so in case if any place is looking or wonky, you could always adjust it. Then we should create a shadow, so you know when the light is hitting it, cast a shadow on this screen. So go to drop shadow, so create a quick drop shadow around that point. We had a drop shadow copied earlier, so just let's see if we can. Okay, on this screen, the drop shadow on this screen is hotty here. So let's see if we copy this drop shadow and paste on this cocoa. So let's just paste that there. See, okay, we could add another drop shadow, a much closer one to the cocoa. Let's increase the opacity so we could see what's actually happening. So this one very close like this. So just increase the size and reduce the opacity a little bit like that, so it's kind of visible and kind of makes the products. Reduce the distance a little bit again, something that just gives you that realism. So increase the size a little bit. I think around 25 should do. Okay, I think that's okay. Yes, that's okay. So any other thing, like on the redesign I did, the one I posted on Instagram, I added a little bit black shadow under the tip, so it stands like something like this. Like I created a new layer, picked my brush to, I'm just trying to rush right now, picked my brush to the black selected, I squashed this one, I held shift and squashed this one like that. Then I reduce the brush a little bit, increase the opacity and flow so you see it. So just damp there and damp there, something like that. So if it's too much, you reduce the opacity around here. Okay, I think that's cool. I will not touch that again. So the last thing remaining is just to write our click to buy, put our lights around the design, and we are done. So I went to the other design and I copied the click to buy. So it was written with popping font, the same font for the everything hot, 9.5 size, bold, line spacing just 0, and the color is full black. Now let's put the gradient on the button box. So the gradient used was the same gradient for build. It's just right click and click copy layer style, then go back to that shape, right click and click paste layer style, as simple as that. Then still double click on the gradient overlay, so we add the stroke around it. So click on stroke, change the fill type to gradient and leave it at that. Okay, so we change this guy to around 3, yes, inside or center, whichever you like. then let it run from black to white like this, 90 degrees like this, then hit on OK. So now we'll introduce every of the lighting on the design. So let's go to the topmost layer and insert our light. So file, place embedded. So I'll fix the first light, then I'll speed up the video for the rest light, because there's no manipulation for the light. It's just to reduce the size like this. So that's why I want to do the first one. Reduce the size, position it, then change the blend mode to screen. You get? So seeing this, you already know how to do the rest. So I'll speed up the video right about now. So we group the entire light so everything looks well arranged. Lights, give that a different color so we can identify it. So put our last file, which is the bouquet file, place embedded. Put the bouquet, or whatever it is. So we scale this guy, change the blend mode to screen. Yes, and you'll be like, wow, everywhere is looking so busy. Don't worry, we reposition everything. So we just have to reposition this guy so it looks nice, subtle and smooth. Okay, I think I like this. Alright, so we also change some colors. We don't need all this red, it's heavy. So go to saturation, hue and saturation. Oh, before that, let's take this under the light. Okay, no, there's no issue. So go to hue and saturation, we want to change the reds. So go to the red first of all, and I think I used 24. So change that to yellow. Alright, so go to the master and desaturate this also, minus 37. Okay, so before and after, so it looks much better. Now add a layer mask so it will brush off excesses. We don't need every of these things, so we just brush off some parts. So use a big brush for this, a big brush. So I'll speed up the video while I also brush it. You know how to brush, it's just to brush like this. So I'll speed up the video doing that. So just add a subtle motion blur to it, just a subtle motion blur. So angle 23 and distance 47. Okay, something like that. So you could still reduce the opacity in case if you think or feel it's too much. You get? So something like this is nice. It's looking super nice. So I could still reduce a little bit of this guy here. Alright, okay, that's nice, very nice. So before I call it a day, let's go back to this cream, this nivel. Then under the nivel, I just want to put a little shadow behind the nivel to the curtain. So let's just go straight to the nivel product, this one here. Then create a drop shadow there to just cast on the curtain, so it's kind of stand out, like pops out. Let's increase it so we see it. Just move it, and this is okay. So just slide it to the right and increase the size some more and reduce the opacity. Just needed it to stand out a little bit. So let's keep the opacity at 10. Side views. Okay, so it's much better. I love this now. Super nice. I love it. So guys, with that we come to the end of today's tutorial. I believe you enjoyed it. I believe you learned a lot from it. Like, share, comment, ask your questions. I'll be quick to respond. Also subscribe to the channel and click the bell icon close to the subscribe button so you'll be notified about future posts like this. So guys, with that, I see you all in the next tutorial. Peace out.